The north of France has already begun getting warmer. I don't even need a sweater in the mornings after it rains. It's got that fresh grass smell while the birds keep chirping their heads off. We've been packing and cleaning and getting ready to head back to Ontario. So my posting times have kind of been a little crazy chaotic. I still do have lots of plans for the next month though. After my mermaid makeup series on Instagram is complete, I do plan on posting more about the Mermaid Warrior Academy. I'm looking to connect with other mermaids, or aspiring mermaids, that want to engage in an online workshop series where we create our own silicone and fabric accessories, outfits, and craft some cool aquatic crafts.
How do you feel, girl? Come relax, bud. There you go.
I'm thinking we'll be doing this monthly. I also want to do series on modeling, taking underwater photos, and warrior posing, but not the yoga type. I want to do a series on prop making and how to make them fit with our mermaid characters and stories. It would also be so fitting and convenient if I could do a series on the mermaid business and how we can all level up. Sometimes working together benefits everyone and helps us all work solo sometimes too. Kinda like One Direction. Sometimes I think I'm crazy for wanting to do this. I hear Mers saying how hard it is to land gigs, but I know my focus isn't on depending on others to give me a job and underpay me, or worse, to mention things like experience or exposure. Small businesses accepted, of course. I want to create this academy not only to teach other Mers on how to dive like one, but also how to live like one. I feel like we all have our own unique experiences, cultures, and legends to tell. One never really overrides the other, but instead, we encourage one another and build each other up. If this is appealing to you, count this as my little advertisement, and please, please, please contact me however you feel most comfortable. I'd love to connect and build with you. Even if there's only 2 of us in the academy, that's twice as much as I have now. And anyways, I'd be glad to have a kindred spirit along for the ride. In my last journal entry, I mentioned that I knew the storm wouldn't last forever. Well, the time has come. Right now, my body has put itself in rest. I sleep longer in the mornings and find myself taking naps in the afternoons. I post less on social media, and honestly, I don't even feel an ounce of guilt about it. I take my time. I create, I write, I watch the clouds go by, and I can sigh a bit of relief knowing some stillness has forced itself upon me. I'm not sure if I would call this paradise. It's more like the eye of the storm. I'm watching the winds hurl all sorts of thoughts around me, thoughts of worry for my future, thoughts of hopes for my future with the love of my life, thoughts of painting on a small porch and watching all my dogs and animals run around and play in our expansive valley, thoughts of my health, thoughts of it declining, thoughts of my happiness. Yet, I'm just observing it around me. The thoughts are separate from me. I have no real control over them, even if they follow me everywhere. Some might be a reflection of me, while others are just hopes, dreams, fears, and even nightmares. I'm not sure if I classify any of them to be part of me, but I do know that I'm still able to have a calm state of mind.
Oddly, this is the part where I'm not technically complete. I still have the breastplates to finish. Um, but this is the part where I'm kind of nervous to start, and you artists will understand the anxiety of wanting to do something for the first time after having done all the studying that you did and all this stuff. And the reason why is because I know that it will, I mean, maybe I don't know, but it can fail. And that's like an anxiety inducing thing because it's not that I want it to be perfect, I just want it to be effective. I mean, it's a lot of materials. You see this? It's a lot of materials, a lot of good stuff that was spent on those materials. And I want to make sure that this is going to be worth it in the end. Otherwise, it's like, why did I do that? So, we're gonna see. We're gonna find out. I also have freeform air. I just realized I could use this freeform air to make really cool things too. Maybe not waterproof things, but cool things nonetheless. I'm trying to the anxiety to just calm down, focus on the next step, right? That's what we have to do. We have to focus on the next step because otherwise we'll just have anxiety with the end result and we'll get nowhere just thinking about the failure that we can do, wasting time just thinking. So I'm going to do the breastplates because that's the next step. And after that, we're going to jump in doing the mold, and hopefully we get this done tonight. That would be the best. We see where it goes. Right now it is time 5:30. So I'm giving myself till 9 p.m., which means I have 30 minutes to do the breastplate, and then we're going to get started. I'm giving myself 3 hours of options of doing this correctly, and we shall see. So anyway, that's just the check-in. Here we go. Give me some lighting while I talk. What can I say? The night has come down. The sky is dark. And honestly, I'm very tired. I'm just finishing a piece of chocolat, which could also be caca, because honestly, I'm immature. So I realized 2 things. One, the breastplate, I tried some different ways to seal the breastplate. I finally ended up doing it, thankfully, but it took some trial and error, and now I am building a extra border around the corset because I want to make sure that no liquid goes underneath my corset and traps my corset within the liquid itself. So that would be a nightmare to take apart later. Even if it would capture the details, it would be very hard for me to cut off the back sealed part. Let's just say, like, this is the corset. I'm going to pour fluid on here, but then if like a piece is like folded upwards like this, then the top fluid could actually fall underneath and encase my corset. And technically there would be some holes, but to take off the bottom part, I only want the top. But if it gets underneath, this part will be such a nightmare to remove afterwards. So I'm building myself a little wall, not larger than 1 centimeter thick, I think, in width, just so that I have a little extra space, and it's sealed to the board, so that nothing will go underneath, and if anything does, it's going to be very minimal and not cause any major damage. So this is where I'm at. Ooh, that's entertaining. And so I'm going to finish the outer border part on the right side and the top, and then tomorrow I'm going to work on a little border for the tree. I technically sealed the tree. You can see that. So I sealed it to the beige board below so that nothing will go under the branches, because that would also be a nightmare, is to pick out each branch out of the epoxy when it's done. Oh my gosh. It's not that this is a nightmare. It's that every time I think I'm ready to mold, there's something else that I have to do. And anyway, I was supposed to do the video today I was hoping that I'd do the mold and then just do the video and post it today because it's Friday. But, no. And like I said last time, I really want to make sure this is done right as possible. Before I make any mistakes. Like, if I were to just mold this because I'm in a rush, like I said, it would be encased. The breastplates would be floating. There'd be nothing for the boobs in general, which would have been a complete nightmare for this corset. Otherwise, well, I guess it wouldn't be a nightmare. I would probably just make it a corset that kind of just sits underneath, but I don't want that because honestly, I think those things are very uncomfortable. I don't care how nicely they wear it in Bridgerton, it is not comfortable, and I don't want to. There's a bubble in the clay. Oh my goodness. I don't want to force myself to wear that if I know it's uncomfortable. So anyway, lots of things that I had to fix. First it was the scales, then it was the breastplates, then it was the tree. Now it's the border, and I'm hoping that after this, and I'll do a little wall tomorrow. I'll just use tape and like some recycled stuff. I'm not going to build a clay wall because I don't want to deal with clay right now anymore. I'm just going to use tape and some trash. Kind of like you do with foam blocks, you know. I'm going to build a wall like that, and then I'm going to get started on the mold tomorrow. I'm going to do it. I hope. Anyway, I'm out, guys. Sorry about the YouTube video not being up directly, but I hope I can post it on Sunday. Tomorrow would be ideal, but you never know, so I'm gonna say Sunday. And then, yeah, we'll see how that goes. Okay, bye-bye. It's a new day. I'm ready to go officially. Whoopsies, I made a mess. You see that? Beautiful day outside. This is my view. This is my work. And this is my view. So I'm gonna get started and hope to God that this works out. And I think it will. Let's go. So I'm gonna just say this out loud so I kind of have it down pat. If I say it out loud, I'll remember a little bit better. We're going in the order of epoxy coat gray, 100 to 15. Then we're going to use Habitat Black, and that's just because you don't need Habitat Black unless you have divots or nostrils or eye sockets or ears to fill. Because I have gills here to fill, and they're kind of like this and rounded here. This rounded part here needs to be filled in order to make sure that the glass will go everywhere. So we're going to use Habitat Black for that. Habitat Black is 1:1, which is fantastic. After that, we're going to use epoxamite along with freeform air. Epoxamite with the fiberglass and then freeform air. Epoxamite is 4A to 1B because I'm using the fastest one, and then freeform air is 1:1. Nervous about this for two reasons. One, I follow two different people who do things like this. Oh, I see a hole. I need to fix that. Who do things like this, and one of them say you do the gray, black, epoxy, fiberglass, freeform, epoxy, fiberglass again. The other one says you do the gray, freeform air, epoxy, glass, epoxy, glass, epoxy, glass. Which one will I do? In this case, I have, how much is this? I have no idea. Well, I have this much freeform air times 2. I don't know if this would cover my entire sculpture. So just out of, I kind of want to save some for myself afterwards because I want to do some other things. I'm probably going to do the first one because I want to save a little bit more of my freeform air. While the Habitat Black, I don't mind so much. I don't know yet what I can do with Habitat Black after, but I'm hoping I can make some stuff with it because that would be really cool to have. But yeah, so I'm going to fix this hole. I'm going to make sure there's no other holes, no other undercuts, because that will be the end of me. And then yeah, I'm going to get started. Nervous. What time is it? 2 p.m. 2 p.m. So let's do this.
the eye of the storm, I'm taking time to focus on the next step, things I can control. I'm focusing on walking, training with my dog, playing cards with my family, watching Legends of Korra with Anthony. I'm focusing on my personal hygiene, using my favorite soft scents like lavender, oatmeal, and coconut, and applying them gently to my skin and hair. I take my time in the showers, singing however I want, all because I can. I play my guitar until I fall asleep with it on top of me. I read some of my old short stories that I wrote decades ago, and I laugh at my ideas, but I also tear up from the nostalgia. I stop acting like I have a normal body, pretending like I'm not in pain, and I literally lay down any chance that I can get just to take care of myself. Small periods of rest actually allow me to enjoy way more time with family. Allowing Anthony or Bambi to help me when needed, and not acting proud like I can always handle it myself, because I can't. All this gives me more understanding of how I can live a good quality of life.
So I don't know if you guys can see that. You can see the little pieces of brown. That one even more so. Oopsies. And this one the same. So we're going to jump into using some of this to make sure that all those little details are going to be captured. And I'm going to put a little bit around here, a little bit in here, and a little bit in and around the tree as well.
These periods of rest are so vital to my mind and body right now. It's why I haven't posted any YouTube videos last week. It's why I've said no to hanging out or visiting people in my circle right now. Every time is not always a good time. There is nothing wrong with advocating for ourselves. If we are in need of rest, then that's how it is. Whether it's laying down and watching your favorite series, or falling asleep to the sound bowls. Sometimes it's our body's turn to take over. Sleep, breathe, relax, and most importantly, rest.
Hello, friends. This sculpture is going to take some work to pry it off the board. Thankfully, the board that I have is not super tough, but we do have some cutting and some cleaning to do. Here it is. Ta-da! Upside down right now. As you can see, it's kind of cooled against, or kind of glued in a way, against the board itself. So I'm going to work on fixing that. And that's what we're going to get to today, in fact. It has stopped raining, so I'm going to try and take advantage and get that done. I just wanted to go over some mistakes that I made while making the mold itself. One being, well, right now actually, one of those mistakes is I should have probably put some popsicle sticks underneath so that when it comes to prying this off the board it would have been easier, but it's okay. I found some prying parts and I'm able to do that. So mistake number one. Mistake number two, fiberglass isn't fun for the skin, so figuring out a way to protect yourself is dope. I use gloves and masks and stuff, but I didn't have like all the best equipment. I would say next time I would use like a full-on like puffy jumper type thing. That would be best. Another mistake, well, like you guys saw in the last like 3 videos, making sure your sculpture is 100% the way you want it to be so that you can start immediately. Obviously you saw sometimes things weren't correct, like the scales had too many undercuts, or the breastplates weren't fixed properly, or the roots were funky. Oh my god, whatever. Make sure it's all good so you don't have to stress. Third, this stuff, Habitat folding powder. This stuff is really nice for the Habitat black. I didn't use it because I thought that it would make it too thick, and I have very small like slivers of things to fill, so I was afraid to use it, but I think I should have used it. Nonetheless, I do have so much left over, and I think I'm gonna make like a little coral sculpture just to have on the desk here. Lastly, I would say the epoxy gray you saw when I was using the brush. You can't see it from the camera, but that thing is so thick. It is hard to spread, and it's not very fluidy. So I would say to mix double what you think you're going to use for your first layer. That way everything will kind of go where it needs to go. I still had pretty fine details, so it was kind of hard to fill those fine details with the epoxy coat gray. So, you know, it's not a big deal, but it's not going to be... Maybe it would be perfect for people who have more experience, but I didn't. I did the best that I could, and I'm hoping this is going to turn out okay. I'll find out after. Am I missing anything else? No. Doing the epoxy and the fiberglass layering, I don't think that was my favorite part of it, and I think the main issue being, you know, when you have a sculpture, everything, like one like mine where it's pretty high detail, you can't just like lay it flat across. It's not like a box, you know, so you had to kind of go with the contours and the bumps and the crevices and things, and so kind of annoying, but you know, you live and you learn. I feel like this layer of fiberglass, like the last layer, I'll show you. You see this pattern here? This stuff is fantastic. I love it. The loose, I had this one that I used as a loose matting layer. It's not my favorite, but it does capture more details. So again, it just depends on what you're looking for. So yeah, that's what I've been working on this week. I am headed back to Canada in 1 week. So I'm going to try to pry this today, and whatever mess I make, I make. And then I'm going to hopefully be able to clean out the clay by tomorrow. We do have a birthday party to go to this evening, so I don't know if I'm going to finish everything, but I'm going to try. And then I'm going to try to upload this video for you guys, and hopefully it's less than an hour because it's a lot of editing to do. But I really wanted to kind of capture the main points of making this because nobody else does this on YouTube. And even the people who are making molds of things and and even people who are making mermaid tails and things will not show this process. And I get it. If you want to keep it to yourself, keep it to yourself. But I'm all about building up communities, so hence I'm sharing it with you so that you can see the mistakes I make and you don't have to make the same mistakes. Of course, you may make some of your own because, we live different lives, we have different materials and supplies, so it is what it is. But I do my best to show you what I've done and what I will not do in the future. So hopefully that's helpful for you. This kind of stuff, once I get better and better at this and have more of a strategy and a routine for making these kind of things, I'm going to be creating something called the Mermaid Warrior Academy. And it's simply for other people who just want to be part of this community, but like don't really feel like they found their place to fit in. And we'll be doing a lot of different things that I love to do. So if you're down to do a lot of cool movement and show off your strength, not just your beauty, then this is probably the place for you. Lots of creativity, of course, including fashion, not just making things, but creating your own outfits and your own makeup and your own style, so that you don't really have to depend on everybody else to provide that for you. Um, yeah, lots of different things coming. So we'll see how it goes. I'm not like I don't really know what I'm doing, but I really like what I'm doing. I don't know if that makes sense, but it makes sense to me. So that's the end of this video. And as usual, I'm wishing you guys wonder and room to be yourself on this side of the world. Adios.